What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One-Eyed Bri, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about the Talking Dead Walking Dead Universe preview special that aired on August 7th, yesterday. We're going to break down what we learned. Was it worth the time to watch it? I think it was, but spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. Now, it was predominantly a Tales of the Walking Dead preview special, which it should be, because that airs August 14th in a week. But August 7th, Talking Dead had a preview special. They really advertised it as a Walking Dead universe special, but it was an hour long and about 90% of it was Tales of the Walking Dead, which was cool. Terry Crews, Jillian Bell, Anthony Edwards were the guests, Michael Satrazemis, and Scott Gimple. But we learned that Terry Crews loves The Walking Dead. It's pretty cool to see that he loves The Walking Dead. He was excited to meet people at Comic-Con, and that he is actually the one in this netting, and he's excited to work with Olivia Munn. I hope he lives, but I don't know how many characters are actually going to live in this anthology series, which is 6 different episodes, and it's going to be Alpha as the one returning character. But is it going to work? It's probably going to be hit or miss. I hope it's more hits than misses, but each episode's going to be a bottle episode, self-contained, which, could be good or bad. And I learned that Jillian Bell is pretty hilarious. She was funny talking about her mom, and this episode, Blair Gina, Season 1, Episode 2, is going to be a comedy. I don't know if it's going to work after the sneak peek that we saw. Basically, Blair or Gina, I'm not sure which is which, but one of the women, shoots the person in the tanker truck, and it's like, how did the person get hit by it? I don't know, but there's a lot of comedic stuff going in there. I don't know if it's going to be forced, if it's going to work or not, but they are taking a different spin on it. Got to give an A for effort. Well, at least until we watch it, right? Now, the Anthony Edwards episode seems great. He was talking about his character. He's a scientist trying to basically figure out the walkers. And that's kind of what his whole job is and what he did kind of before this with the environment and everything there. There's a group that is collecting the heads of walkers as trophies. There's going to be a problem with a group that comes around most likely. I'm guessing that this character comes along with him or at some point comes to help him or work together. I never really noticed the left hand of this woman, but to me, it reminds me a lot of Merle. Some people are thinking it reminds them of Aaron, but to me, it's more of like the knife hand there, which is kind of cool. It's a nice little callback, and I love those things, and I hope we get more of them in the episodes. But it's interesting to see where these characters are going to go, but they only get 1 episode each. Now, the Alpha stuff, we already know how it ends, but this is going to be the prequel origin story of it. She's on a riverboat for most of it, is what they kind of said. We see a clip that the bartender is not being nice to Alpha, and it's kind of weird that Alpha just takes it, but we'll have to see what happens there. Now, there's a horror, scary kind of story coming up in one of the episodes, and I don't know if it's going to work because the characters are going to be one and done, is what I think. But it could be great. The episode could be interesting enough for the 45 minutes or hour-long episode, whatever it is. But from the trailer and the sneak peek stuff that we got to see, I'm interested in watching it. And for 6 episodes, hey, it may work. This one with Jesse T. Usher, who plays A-Train on The Boys, it's like, what is going on here? He's got a bump on the head. He killed a walker, which may have been a woman. We don't know what's going to be fact, what's real, what's not. And it's going to be an episode like, what's really going on here? So it could be interesting. They talked about Isle of the Dead. There were 2 little segments that Lauren Cohan recorded. Nice Zoom style recording from her computer. And then Jeffrey D. Morgan was like, he was being interviewed. It was grainy. It was terrible. It just wasn't really good quality. And I definitely couldn't get past that. I was watching it, but they keep bringing up the fact that it's amazing. It's game changing. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to be awesome. It's, just going to be this big thing where they're talking about rooftop factions. There's a war that they're going to get caught up in the middle of. They have zip lines around the city and New York City, that is. And it should be amazing. I'm super excited for this, especially after watching some of the recent filming, photos, news, information for it. But the hype is building and building and majorly building. Lauren Cohan said that they finished the first episode filming already. Jeffrey D. Morgan has said in the interview and also multiple times that it's going to blow our effing minds. And this show, Isle of the Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, are the only shows that I believe are filming right now, which we should get more news about the Daryl show. Speaking of Gimple and the Daryl show, he did give us some information that Daryl is going to be in France And we don't know how he gets there, why he gets there. And Chris Hardwick mentioned France and In the World Beyond post-credit scene. So the big question is how does Daryl get there, right? Does he get on a boat? Does he get flown there? Why is Daryl going to France? It's got to be some sort of connecting point with the variant cohort walkers, maybe research. But right now, in theory, at least my eyes, it doesn't really fit. Is it going to fit like a square peg in a round hole? They're going to force it to fit like Daryl, France. Daryl, France. No. Daryl, France. You're going to like it. Deal with it. When in doubt, give it to Daryl. So we'll see what the mission is all about. The big questions are, what happens with Dog? I guess Carol will watch him. What happens with Judith and RJ? I would assume it'll be safe at the Commonwealth, Alexandria, or Hilltop. Daryl can have his own show. Will it be the weakest of all the shows? Maybe. Will it make sense? I'm not sure, but we know that Daryl's in France, and that's basically all that we got from that. Gimple also barely gave us any information about the Rick and Michonne show. Gimple and Satrazemis were in remote on the TV screen, like a Zoom style. Terry Crews, Jillian Bell, and Anthony Edwards actually came in the studio with Chris Hardwick. He said basically that Rick and Michonne is going to be the epic love story and just a bunch of junk information that there's been some time where they've been on their own. They're going to have to find each other. They're going to, it doesn't really say anything great. But if you look at the synopsis for the show and what is said before from comicbook.com and other different things, an epic love story of two characters changed by a changed world. Great. He didn't really get into specifics. He didn't talk about filming. He didn't talk about stuff there, that he's been working on it for a while and working on this. And he was working on the movies, obviously, and that fell through. He didn't say any of that stuff. But we'll have to see how it goes down. You can read the synopsis if you want to pause it there and you didn't see my previous videos. But we'll have to see how it goes down for the Rick and Michonne show. And they had to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, and they talked about it for like 5 seconds. They said that they're going to start filming, or they already started filming, and they have a 6 a.m. Cast call or production call or whatever it is for today, Monday the 8th. They're in Savannah, Georgia. The last time we saw Fear the Walking Dead, it was Morgan and Madison working together to go to Padre. Satrazemis talked about the beach setup, kind of with the atmosphere around Savannah. They're going to use that a little bit more, and they're in Savannah, and that's all we know. But what do we learn? Not much. They really focused on Tales of the Walking Dead, which they should. 6 episodes, anthology series, self-contained, basically bottle episodes. I wonder if anybody's going to live or not. Do you really need to watch the preview special? Maybe. You can watch the sneak peeks. A couple people have them up on YouTube. They're 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not very long at all. But it does build the hype for the Maggie and Negan show, Tales of the Walking Dead, and I'm excited to check it out. How about you? Rick and Michonne, can't wait for that one. They're probably not going to give us any information. Why would they, right? But once we get it, we'll share it with you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Support the PT channel when you can, in any which way that you can. Big shout out to my subscribers, my members, my patrons. We can't do it without you. Stay safe. And as always, tell them Daryl.
Yeah, we